In this example, we're going to practice lining up vectors so that we can add or subtract them. And so in example A, they're asking us to add vector A to vector B to vector C. So the one thing that we have to make sure of when we're doing addition of vectors is that we're always lining the vectors up tip to tail. Here's what it looks like for part A. If we take vector A and we have to add vector B, then we want to make sure that we're adding vector B in a tip-to-tail fashion so that the tip of vector B is touching the tail of vector, or the tip of vector A is touching the tail of vector B. Now if we want to add vector C is going to go back this way. And so again, if we line the vectors up tip to tail, then that's what our end result looks like if we take those three vectors and add them. Think about traveling along these vectors and think about where you would end up at the start of A. Now in B, when we are adding vector A plus B, we're going to start the same way. I'm just going to draw a rough sketch of vector A added to vector B, just like in the first example. The difference in this example is that we're subtracting vector C. The easiest way to subtract vector C is for us to draw vector C exactly the same sort of slope and length, but we want to go in the opposite direction as the original vector C. Vector C was going from in the left direction. Now we want negative vector C, which is going to go in the opposite direction. Similarly, for example C, vector A stays the same. There's vector A. Now vector B is going to change direction, so when we draw vector B, we're going to draw it using the same slope, but in the opposite direction and the same length as vector B. And when we subtract vector C, we're going to subtract vector C by drawing it in the opposite direction of the original vector, vector C.